Yo, welcome back to Sliders Pod. This is your favourite host, Mo, and today I'm joined by
Toby the Guy Senpai.
Who's tough, aka the champion.
The number one anti-villain, Tom.
Wait, what?
I need a tag or something.
You don't need a tag, Tom.
What, man, just Tom?
Yeah, just Tom. That's how you started, didn't it? That's how you started. Yeah. Then you tried to brand yourself as Toxic Tom and realized you could quickly get cancelled, fam.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being toxic.
Okay,
There's
anyway,
plenty wrong with being toxic, but today we're talking about should cloning be legal? And we're talking about cloning humans. So this is, obviously it's not possible right now, or the government says it isn't, but when it is, should it be legal?
we know what they're hiding, fam. Cloning's real. Listen, here's why. I've been in clubhouse rooms, yeah. I've been in clubhouse rooms, and some of the shit these niggas are saying, yeah, you will question like, maybe, like they're keeping something from us because we know the government doesn't reveal everything because, you know, when you reveal shit to the masses, things go out of control. But I think it's real, first of all, but yeah, carry on.
So my personal opinion on whether like cloning should be legal is yes.
It should be.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
useful. So what would you call it? A cheap workforce?
Jesus.
No.
Most looking at it.
What do you mean?
There are no ethics. There are no
The
ethics.
way I see it is they wouldn't be real humans. They'd
Clones
be,
are real humans.
they're second-rate
Yes.
humans.
Oh, okay.
man.
no.
This goes into my opinion and why I'm not for cloning.
And as second-rate humans, you feed them the food they need to survive, the water they need to survive,
This podcast
but they don't get to reproduce.
This podcast is too young to get cancelled.
And you just, push out the same. Yeah, it's cheap workforce, bro.
You're ridiculous.
Cheap
Imagine
workforce.
having I don't want to call them slaves because we've been.
That's
done
actually
that.
what you're describing.
Yo, fool.
That's actually what you're describing.
No, but when black people were slaves and other people as well, we're actually human beings. Like
Okay.
we were born into this world through natural means. Clones, they're test tubes, bro.
It depends on your definition of a clone. Like,
It's just an identical copy of an already existing human being
So
it's a
why is it
human
less
being.
because
human?
it's a copy.
Oh, God,
What
Dom.
do you
Yo,
mean?
Dom. Right, Toby, please get to your point. Please get back to this guy.
Okay. People like Mo is why I think clothing shouldn't be legalized or normalized in any way, shape, or form. I think there can be definitely I don't know about that. I think there can be some benefits to it. So, for example, with harvesting organs, but in the day you can just clone like organs, right? Just straight up, you don't even need to clone the whole person.
Yeah.
So, in terms of cloning a person, I don't think it's ethical to say we can create a cheap workforce, because like an episode of Black Mirror went into this, right? But then that person you're cloning thinks that they're you. So for example, if you cloned yourself right now and then brought into existence and it's just there chilling, it's gonna think it's you from that very moment, and it's gonna see everyone else have them same memories. Or is it gonna have them same memories? Or
No, what if you clone it
yeah, if you clone it
from
so-
DNA?
yes,
No, it won't have the same memories.
Okay. Well, either way, regardless, this is a human being you're making. And I don't think that because of the way it's made, it changes the fact of what it is. Like, in the day, if it has, genetically it's identical to you, then you can consider that a human being. And if you mistreat it like it's not a human being because it's a clone, I think it creates a whole problem about ethics and just all that, and whether or not you should work them and as slaves, really.
Okay, and that makes perfect sense too. I'm not going to take that away from you. But Taf, remember we were talking earlier about does your DNA belong to you, and should it belong to you?
Okay.
In this case, if my DNA belongs to me and I clone myself, that DNA is mine. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I do with that DNA is also it belongs to me. That I get that choice.
I think you're looking in the wrong way.
It belongs to me.
It's like saying oh, you have a kid.
Yeah.
Not the same
So-
thing. Not the same thing.
It is. It's
that
still
kid
your
does
DNA.
No, that
DNA.
kid does not belong to me. That kid does not belong to me. That kid has its own. No, but at the end of the day, that DNA of that kid is completely separate to mine. It's related, but it's not the same.
Okay.
This will be the same DNA. It is literally mine. I clicked copy. I click copy, and I get to do. And I get to do what I choose.
So is it the fact that it's an identical copy? Is that why it's
Yes.
now calm?
Yes.
Oh.
But-
It's not. No, it's not even the fact that it's just an identical copy. It's a second-rate identical copy. It is not the original. I am the original copy. I'm the original, source.
Okay.
So that is why I don't want to say superior, and I am the superior.
Okay.
DNA.
Let's just get to my point then.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
go.
sorry.
Yeah, because this thing is extreme. I think cloning should be allowed, but like my idea of cloning is like, you know, the nice version of cloning. I'm talking about shadow clones from Naruto. You know, that's how I picture clones, you know, working and serving us. But in a realistic world, I see clones as altered carbon, where it's like, you know, only the rich can afford to get cloned, you know. Not everyone's just out here getting clones like that, you get me? But yeah, I think cloning should be allowed, like when it comes out eventually. 'Cause I don't see how it can go wrong, you get me?
There will be an uprising, Taff.
Of who?
The clones will have an uprising.
No, they won't.
It depends.
No. Because things you're on about a nice version of cloning. Tough. Humans aren't nice. We're not exactly a nice race. There's no nice version of cloning.
There is.
No, the hell there isn't. No, there isn't. Listen, all I'm saying is that because cloning again, most that they'll be used as cheap workforce.
Yeah.
Cheap muscle. They'll be living.
You could clone a Messi and a LeBron, fam.
They'll be.
Do you know how much LeBron could sell his DNA off to get cloned? And he'll be in the NBA forever. Do you know how mad that is?
It won't really be him in the NBA.
No, but his DNA, his genetics, you get me?
But it won't mean anything to him if his clone's making it and he's just.
No, but it's sort of like how celebrities can sell off their image for their likeness to be used. You get me?
Yeah, but
So
LeBron
like-
would never sell himself. Or not sell himself. Sorry.
No,
He would never
whether
clone
he
himself.
would or
He would never.
wouldn't.
He would never clone himself. It wouldn't make sense to clone yourself if you're such a prime athlete or
Yeah.
you're very unique in that sense. In whatever you do, cloning yourself detracts from your value.
Yeah.
Because they can
No.
do the same thing at the end of the day.
No, but here's what I'm
Personality,
saying,
maybe
though.
not,
You have
but-
to think about it like this, yeah? He would, whether he would or wouldn't, I don't know. I'm just saying, if he did, you know, the amount of money he would make from that would be insane from the NBA. And plus, you have to think about practicality. If, let's say he said yes, he'd probably sign something to say, cool, you guys can clone me, but wait till my time's over in the NBA. You get me? And then that's that. So LeBron leaves, and then he'll constantly be in the NBA forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, but then he's
I
not
think-
special.
I think it's ridiculous.
He wouldn't
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna lie.
He wouldn't
I
do
think
it.
it's ridiculous.
No, but I don't know how important being special is. Like in a world about money, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but doesn't he have control over whether he wants to be cloned or not?
Yeah, he does. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
saying
then
if
he would
signed
never
to
do it.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't
There's
know.
no reason for him to do it.
So Tom, what's your
There's gonna be there will be an uprising. The fact that you man think.
Alright, explain how this uprising.
Okay, you man are moving like these men are gonna be vegetables. They're gonna be exact copies of humans, which means they can think like humans. Slaves that were born in slavery, there was still an uprising, bro.
Whose clone will be the one to do this though? That's what
Thing is,
who's leading this uprising, fam?
And thing is tough. Things even though they're clones of humans,
Yeah.
they still think for themselves. When you're not like creating robots. You're creating more humans.
What about the clones from Star Wars? The stormtroopers.
Okay, so that's how you're gonna argue my point. Stormtroopers.
Yes, it's not real. I mean,
Okay.
you know, it's like Mo said, what a cheap, useful workforce. You know, they get the job done.
And that's how they saw black people. Was this not still an uprising?
Oh, Tom.
No. What we're not gonna do?
No,
Taff,
don't bring
Taff,
our people into
No,
this.
Taff. How many generations were actually born into slavery? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
How many generations were born in slavery? Born in slavery. So like they didn't know any other life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, was there still an uprising? Yes. The same thing will happen with clones.
And
Hold on. Let's not even talk about overpopulation. You man are honestly trying to kill this world. you man are honestly trying to.
What do you know about overpopulation?
Listen, population
he knows it's a
control.
word.
This nigga, where do you? What
All
do
I'm
you
saying,
know
all
about
I'm saying,
overpopulation?
population control will become. I'm not gonna lie. It is a possibility if cloning is allowed.
Population control.
Population control.
What does that mean?
I see that in our future.
What does that mean? Nigga? I'm scared now. What does that mean?
I was
It's in
saying,
like one-child policies, like that sort of thing.
Or what? Killing off certain sectors of people.
yeah, just because what's it called? This is
To be
sustainable.
fair,
Just
anyone over 60 is pretty
it's-
much useless.
Fuck.
But let's not get into
Wait, what the fuck? Yo,
Oh my god.
We're talking about cloning. So let's not talk about ages and stuff like that.
But you just anyway.
I don't want to be seen.
No, he's not talking about population control. So
Jesus
Putting you niggas on camera was wrong. They should have never gave you lot cameras.
I'm just describing.
But I actually agree with Tom though.
like it is so possible for like because deeper. I don't think first of all there won't be any control over how many clones are made. So how sustainable the world will be for every single human on the planet. I'm not gonna lie, that's a very iffy factor. It's a very iffy factor. So the sustainability, an uprising. So they at one point I think they should, but if they're like under General Mo, they probably won't have decent living conditions
Wow.
or decent food. They probably won't even be getting paid. And what's it called?
Paid for what? What do you mean? They're being fed. They're being, water.
This
They
is
get water.
slavery. Mo, is this slavery? That's
This
not-
isn't
Okay.
slavery. It's a cheap. It's a cheap.
What-
work
no,
force.
is it
What do you mean?
slavery?
No, Tap,
No.
you see what I'm saying? There will be people that think like that. That will be making the clones. So indeed, there will be an uprising because some people will say enough is enough. The clones will say enough is enough. So let's say they do get those equal living conditions. How sustainable is the Earth for that many clones?
Okay,
On
so
top of the human race.
here's what I'm
and the
hearing.
human race is still growing, by the way.
Why are you talking about
Yeah.
the human race as if they're separate to clones? Because they're not the same as us. Exactly. My point stands. They're not humans, so don't throw ethics out the window.
Alright,
Anyway,
we need to mute his mic. But from what I hear, Tom, like, okay, so clones in mass is a no-no, right?
Yeah.
The uprising too big. Here's how I mean it though. So in Altered Carbon, yeah, like check it out. It's a good show on Netflix, right? So rich people get clones, and so they upload their memory. So you can download your memory onto a memory stick and plug it into any body, right? So when you're rich, you clone your body, keep it in storage, and if you die, your memory stick of who you are as a person gets uploaded into that clone.
So that's
I
what you
think
meant.
okay. So with that like version of how cloning works, what would you say then?
I guess that's calm. I guess actually no, it's not very calm. I don't think it should be allowed either.
Why? Oh,
No.
fam.
No. With countries like fucking North Korea or something, that can be used to keep the same person in power for generations.
Why can't you just look at the bright side? Like, I mean, sure, that's
Tap, there's no
possible.
bright side.
But like,
I'm not gonna lie,
First of
there's
all, I think you have too much faith in humanity right now. I'm not gonna lie. I have no faith in our race. As in, I don't think we're
You
nice
did it
people.
again. It's species. You said race like
The human race.
as in human species race. But you say it like our race, but carry on.
I have no faith in I have no faith in the human race at all. I'm not gonna lie. I know full well if that happens, Putin ain't going out of power. Kim Jong-un isn't going out of power. Like it's gonna be very mad. Dictators are gonna have a field day.
Yeah, but imagine this. With clones, we could send in covert operatives that have been cloned into the field, put those dictators down.
you're cloning
and if
James
they die, clone them again. Send them back in. Wave after wave after wave after wave.
You're stupid. That
Off
takes
the wave.
facilities. You're dumb, man. You're dumb.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
No, wait.
That'd be
Wait,
perfect.
wait. Even what you're saying, yeah, there's no limitless supply of clones because I don't know materials, blah blah blah, system like
We don't know what it takes to clone
I
something.
don't know what it takes, but yeah, I don't think they could do it like that. Like it's a
Oh
fucking
yeah, and by the way,
cake factory.
the way we think about clones, yeah, we think about in the sense that, when they did the whole Dolly the sheep thing,
let's not
yeah.
talk about Dolly the sheep.
yeah, they
That's the go-to in any cloning conversation. Dolly the sheep from Year
Like-
7 Science.
they took certain parts of the mother sheep, I forgot what her name was, and then they had another embryo. They implanted that in another sheep, and then it gave birth to Dolly. But Dolly was a clone of the original sheep. Yeah, cool. So, but it still had to go through that birthing process. So it's still 9 months, then growing up in terms of years. And we're thinking about it in the sense that the cloning process is patterned, so no one's dying too early. So if you clone, let's say me now, you're not going to see me as I stand here now for another 20 years, right?
Yeah. Okay.
20 years plus 9 months.
Yeah.
That's long, fam. That's not even worth it.
As in, that's
What
why
is that version of cloning? what
Like
it takes
cloning is too long. It takes too long because you actually need to
grow the human.
grow the human, and then there's environmental factors that come into place. Like, what if the clone version of me or anybody like goes to gym more, is bigger? That's not Mo. That's Mo version 2.
it's Momo. Anyway, yeah, I tried.
That was disgusting.
We need a dad joke of that.
But yeah, I feel like even though I said that it'd be a cheap workforce, the amount of effort, money, resources you need to put into not only just cloning human in the first place, but then growing it. Like, what's even the point? Just have more kids.
Yeah.
Like, there's really no point cloning unless you want something that that human that you're cloning has and is unique to them. Maybe like a supremely high IQ or some kind of genetic disposition.
LeBron.
I really hope Mo never gets into politics. I really do. I really hope he does. No, he just start breeding soldiers, and I'll be honestly scared.
I
for the
wouldn't.
world.
Would you prepare for a war? Like,
Me.
Being honest, the way you're talking now about... So you come from the standpoint of clones will uprise. That's Tom's point of
They
view.
will uprise.
And
won't.
then, wait. And then Mo comes from, we need to militarize the clones. You get me?
It only makes
Both
sense
of
to
you don't want to
militarize the
use the clones for fun. You just want to... you just see it going bad very
No.
very-
I want to use them for fun. Cheap workforce is fun because
For him, dictatorship is fun.
no, because at the
Who
end of the
says
day,
that?
Are you going to
at the end of
oppress
the day,
clones?
cheap workforce, slaves, whatever you want to call them, yeah, they allow me and other people that take part in it to relax.
You realize there's
that's just
people in cheap
slavery.
workforces like on a day to day.
Yeah, there's people in cheap workforces right now, but those are actual humans. There's
But
people
clones
in
are
Okay.
humans.
no, but pause. I don't agree.
What
But
do you mean pause?
There's people in countries like Bangladesh, you know, some Asian countries, you know, where companies like Apple are taking advantage, of humans, and that's because they're a cheap workforce. If you could clone those humans, or humans in the Western world, put them to work, for very
That's
cheap.
those people working for Apple out of the job now.
Okay, but they can find another job maybe.
There's a reason they're working at Apple for cheap, fam. They're not doing it because they want to.
Okay, but it's inhumane. People are saying that it's inhumane,
Yeah,
but we still
it
buy
is.
from Apple and we still don't really give a shit. So what I'm saying is you put some second-hand humans in there, clones, and suddenly
But they're brand new.
No. Yeah.
Mo, are some,
And you know what's mad with clones, yeah? You only need a clone of one person and you're good to go. It's not even like you're cloning multiple people. You're just cloning one
That's
dude.
true. That's true.
So, maybe Mo's onto something.
Thank you. And can I also put the sorry, Toby. Can I also just put the uprising thing in the ground? You could put chips into these humans to kill them at the flick of a
fuck's
switch. Anyway, Toby, go ahead.
What type of clone suicide squad?
Hold
Okay,
on, guys.
okay.
No,
Hold on.
This guy's
no,
you're
guys.
doing
Can
this too much.
Can
Here's
we
it.
deal what Mo's saying, please? Can we deal what
He said clone suicide squad.
Mo wants to create a slave race. Can we actually understand this? Mo wants to create a slave race.
That's a terrible way to put it, but okay.
What do you mean? That
wanna-
is what it is, though.
I'm silent. I'm
Is what
silent.
it is.
I think the important question at hand is, especially if you see it in a way where you're messing around with the the egg or whatever, and then you're putting it inside the human, and then the mother's still going through that labor of pushing it out. I think it raises a heavy question of whether or not you still can consider that person a human. Like, I still don't think that just because it has a copy of your, it has an exact copy of your genetic material, demeans the fact in any way that that's human. Because at the end of the day, I think you consider it as you. Like, that's
Yeah.
why it's sort of like
But it's
you're a
not me
clone.
though, is it?
It's not you, but that's like
twin
comes
born-
from like a
it's like a
personal
twin born
identification. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
that is sort of like a personal identification thing. But just because you identify as Mo and then you see someone with the exact copy like of your genes doesn't deny the fact that fair enough it's not Mo, or you could say it's not Mo, but doesn't mean it's not human.
I wonder
got-
what twins go through then, because those are like identical twins. Yeah, like what goes through their mind? Like, do they ever think about like which one's the real one?
I mean, whoever was born first. At the end of the day, the way I see twins, they're failed clones. One of them off the other one in the womb, and now
Wait,
and they've got two survivors.
shut up, man! What's wrong with you?
You know, sharks.
It's not
yeah?
What do you
serious,
mean
man.
they're failed clones? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Essentially, only one was supposed to come out, but the fight to the death. You know, they essentially had a truce.
Is that
They
true
drew.
though? Do twins actually devour each other in the womb?
No, they don't. But sharks do.
No, it's possible.
Some in some cases, but
Sharks
that's not
do.
normal. Sharks do though.
No, it's not normal.
Sharks literally the one that comes out, the one that actually comes out. I don't know how it works, but well, that part works. But they fight in the womb, like they kill each other. You kill your siblings.
But
Siblings.
fucking hell! Like, imagine getting a child that's born and it's like, yeah, you ate your sibling in the womb. That's some scary shit, fam.
They'll never know. They'll never.
Would
they'll
you
never
not tell them?
Nah.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to look at a nigga and say, I mean, you're a murderer, fam. Like, since day, like, that's some weird shit. Like, you have to tell the guy at some point.
Nah, probably not. But
That's like not telling them they're adopted, fam.
I think we're just brushing on the fact that Mo wants to create, as a black man, he wants to create a slave race.
Yeah,
Wait,
what's up with
wait,
that?
Hold up.
No, hold on. As a
When black
black
people-
man, I don't give a damn whether you call yourself British or Nigerian. As a black man, you conservative prick, you want to create a slave race.
He's not wrong about the conservative part.
Okay.
Jesus.
Now, this is we just differ on one thing here, and that's seeing clones as humans or not.
yeah,
Because if you
I need
guys
to draw this line
no,
in the
if
sand.
you guys didn't see clones as humans, then I wouldn't be building a slave race.
Wait. Okay.
I'm not. Wait, hold.
Tom, do you think clones are human?
Yeah.
Toby?
yes.
Yes. No. Okay. Clearly outline why you don't think they're human.
Wait,
Because
hold
for us, it's very straightforward why
Hold
they're
on,
human.
but what do you think about animal rights? I'm just out of curiosity.
Animal rights, they're
Yeah.
beneath us. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we can't really
I'm just
talk about
curious.
that.
No, that's a great way to bring it up.
What do you
The
think
way I
about
see them, they're
animal
essentially animals. We rear animals for fun, not for fun, but as a cheap source of food, etc., etc. That's the same way I would view clones.
No, but
You guys are holding on to feelings too much. Sometimes you just need to get shit done,
I agree with you on the
and that's what
animal
PT
rights.
Corporation would do when we get clones working for us.
No, I'll tell you now, like, animal testing to me isn't that bad. It makes sense because, like, so many things have been done, like, or so many things have been achieved through science, through animal testing and stuff, because it's like, we need to draw the line at somewhere.
Yeah.
And, like, humans, we're animals. We're just different animals, you get me? Like, we have our own system, like, top of the food chain, as Mo would put
we are
it.
not top of the food
You
chain.
get me? So, like, it only makes sense that, we just dominate other animals. We eat cows and we take their milk for their children and put it in our fridges and all that other type of crazy shit. So animal testing just makes sense to me. I don't know. Like, but yeah, so why don't you see human clones as human?
Because at the end of the day, they're not the original copies, and so they're not. Or maybe.
No, because like if you saw a clone on the street, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. If a clone
I mean, I have a keen eye. I don't know about you guys, but I have a pretty keen eye, despite the glasses.
No, because it's meant to be identical. It's meant to be identical copy. Yes.
It would be
So if you do it correctly,
keyword copy.
identical.
Copy.
Keyword identical.
Identical in terms of the genes, yes, and the DNA, yes, but the
So-
environmental factors will play in and they won't look the same. Most likely. You can't replicate the environmental factors that you grew up in. Most likely. You wouldn't be able to.
the diet, everything.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Every meal I've ever had
No,
from
but
age
we're
of
talking about
0 to now.
copy and pasting you as you are now.
Okay, so you're just copying and pasting me straight.
Yeah.
If another Mo literally appeared right in front of us, would you guys think that nigga's a human?
Yes.
That nigga is an alien.
If another Mo was standing
Oh
right
my
there,
God.
He better
I
get to
would
work
say,
on my assignments.
Yo,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
Working
gonna
assignments.
lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I'd kick both of them out. I'm not gonna lie. Both of them.
wow.
okay,
Like, you
wait.
need to sort this out. Like, whatever's happening to
wait,
you.
Like, it's sort of- like, I
No,
wouldn't- I
why
wouldn't
would you
care.
not respect yourself? Like it's very.
I am
straightforward.
respecting myself. I'm right here, Tam.
No,
I can do what you want to do.
it's
here.
very straightforward,
They're
my
not-
guy.
they're not-
You cannot tell me that if you duplicate your DNA 100%, that is not a human being. You don't have any solid argument. Yours.
Okay,
argument,
wait, actually,
your
you know what?
argument is purely perception based.
Oh, actually, no. I'll give you this. It is a human being, species-wise, I guess. I mean, Dolly the sheep was still a sheep. Yeah,
Okay.
but that sheep died very quickly.
Yeah, because we're still working.
Yeah.
on
All I'm
Yeah,
saying,
but in this-
So were the
all
other
I'm
kings.
saying-
In this
all I'm
scenario, I
saying,
guess they.
If another Mo appeared, I don't really care which one's the original, which one's not. I'll put them in a room. Whoever the strongest wins. I'll take the strongest Mo.
You know what? I'll give you that. The clones are humans. I just don't see them the same way I see original humans. At the end of the day, who would you save? If you can only save one person, the original or the copy? Go
You
ahead.
might-
You
you might-
answer.
you
You're
might
probably
be-
going to
you
say
might
the
be
original.
exact.
You're saying the original. There we go. At the end of the day, you don't see them the
That's
same
the
way.
original.
That
Like,
depends
you
on
might
your
be
emotional
decided.
attachment to that person. Like, if the other person, if the other clone was close with someone who Mo doesn't know, and then you ask that person the exact same question, they're going to choose Mo's clone.
Okay. The thing you guys did for me just now. If I appear right in a copy of me appears right in front of you right now while we're recording, yeah, and suddenly a fucking asteroid falls and you can only save one of us.
Do you
Original
have,
Mo or that Mo?
Do you have
That
some
Mo
memories?
has the same memories I do. Who you
Alright,
saving?
listen.
Who you saving? And don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Yo, come on.
You better be saying the original Mo because otherwise I'm done with you. Like. That's silly.
Wait,
I
no,
think I'm
you're
gonna
still
do
easy.
easy anymore, you know.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It makes no difference. It makes no difference to me.
Unless
No,
you got
that's funny.
confused, you should be saving
I'm not
me.
gonna lie. It makes no
Wait.
difference to me.
What?
Makes
It
no
makes
difference.
to me.
There we
Listen,
go.
listen,
And the podcast is ended.
listen. If you have the same memories, it means that we have the same relationship. Listen, it means we have the same relationship. So pretty much, I'm just choosing between Mo 1 and Mo 2. It makes no difference to me. I'm choosing between one wooden chair and another wooden chair.
Okay.
Both of you are wooden chairs.
Okay, fair enough.
Jesus.
Toby, is that how you feel?
I would say that how I feel. There always
Toby, which one are you picking?
neither.
Neither. So you're letting me die. Okay.
No, not even. I'd say it'd be definitely fueled by some emotional like attachment I have to the Mo that I know. Obviously, that clone of Mo who has the same memories as you, I'm gonna see as that's Mo too. But at the same time, like my emotional attachment is to that. That's something that can't really be replicated, I suppose.
Exactly.
So I would end up saving you, but I don't think emotional attachment really says anything about whether that person's.
I'm
more
not. No,
human.
it's still human, but
Yeah.
which one is more valuable?
I choose the copy just to
But
get
that
the
depends on
final
your
win.
relationship with each person. Like, as
It
in-
does, but that one,
But
the
we-
way that Mo thinks, it has the same relationship.
But I think that that's an unfair scenario because it's like
Yeah,
we
no.
don't have that emotional attachment to no,
You do.
not
The
No,
relationship
but
would
that's
be
the
the
point
same.
of it, though. Like they're both meant to be the same Mo, the same memory. So that Mo will have the same emotional attachment to us as this Mo does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
the thing-
we just have the knowledge of you're a copy and this is the original.
Exactly.
So
like
you just-
Toby, like if
that's
we were
it.
in different rooms, like me and the copy, you could walk into one room, see the copy, and act like it's Mo, and that it would respond the same way I'm responding.
Yeah.
because it has the exact same memory, same relationship.
Yeah.
all the way through. You wouldn't know until you see both of us in the same room. And you're like, oh damn, there's two of you. So now you know there's two of us, and you know which ones you get told which one's the original. Which one are you saving, original or copy?
You might should fight it
but
out.
I still think that
It's
like
a fair question.
the most. I still think
original.
it's a bit of an unfair question because like I don't think emotional connection has anything to do with value.
Okay,
to
it
that
does
person.
though.
So wait, so who are you
Not
saving?
really.
Who are you saving at the end of the day? Just
Not necessarily. Like as in, I'd save you.
oh, thank you.
The original.
Wait, who's me?
Oh.
Toby?
Oh, Toby's a silent.
The original, the one who I do have an emotional connection with. But I wouldn't say that that means okay, the clone's less valuable than you.
It's the knowledge, Toby. It's not even like it's simply because you know one's the original and one
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
the
save
thing.
the
Which
original
is why I'm
just to
like,
spite you.
Well done.
Just to spite you.
I would
Just-
say
just
the
to spite
original, fam. I'd keep it simple. I wouldn't think too
yeah.
much, man.
But then,
Because
like,
then you're deep in that. Oh, this Mo's real. He's got feelings too,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to save the original.
yeah, but then in terms of like the reason why I'm saying that's like it's completely subjective to me and to us about like our connection to that person. But as a whole, if we're looking at it from like a non-biased standpoint now, they're just as valuable as each other. If someone who doesn't know Mo and doesn't know the clone sees each other, they're like, hey,
Yeah, that's true.
they're just as valuable as each other.
But I think that if a random, like somebody that didn't know me walked in, you had to give them that same scenario. These are two people. One of them's a clone, one of them isn't. You tell them which one is the original. I think most people will pick the original. Even with zero attachment to me, they have no attachment to me. I think they pick the original, and that's just because I feel like that's how people might like naturally perceive originals to copies.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of that, or do you think it's because like you have? Well, it depends if you're saying like the clone has been on the Earth for the same amount of time as you.
No.
Because then I think the question would rise of okay, like people would have more of an emotional attachment to you, like so that would influence their decision. Like you, the same way we'd save you in that scenario, they'd consider that and be like, more people have emotional attachment to this guy compared to clone who.
Why
no one
would they
even
consider
knows.
that? Like what? Okay, what happens if the person that comes in is told that whatever they choose after that person, the copy or the original leaves, they're gonna be everyone outside will perceive them as the original.
Okay.
So everyone that actually knows me, like other than a stranger, will think that I'm the original. They'll just think that it's Mo. So they don't need to take emotional attachment into consideration. And even if they do, the copy has the same memories, will be able to relate and have the same bands, etc. with everyone that I know. Nothing changes. You're taking original, Toby. It's all right.
I'd say it's a
I'm
50-50.
pissed off, but like
I'd say
Mo
it's a
makes
50-50.
sense. He makes sense, fam. That
Hey,
that
did it.
scenario is
Okay.
pretty much the perfect scenario. Like you will pick the original because it's the original.
I just
because
think
it's
that we shouldn't breed a race to live in squalor.
In Squalor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
Game of
big
Thrones
words.
words there.
I don't think we should breed a race to live in squalor. Like I'm not even saying that what's it called they should have the same rights. So I'm saying that they shouldn't exist in the first place.
Oh, so just we shouldn't be cloning people
We
in the
shouldn't
first
be
place.
cloning
So
people.
you're saying it should be legalized essentially. So at the end of the day,
I think it shouldn't be legal.
when we're answering the original question, should cloning be legalized? I'm saying yes.
For your slave race.
And what's your conclusion on like?
Yeah, your closing point.
Yeah.
Yes, because they could be useful to the human race because they're not humans. Well, they are humans, but not as human as I am. Up the originals, down the copies.
Oh,
And
God.
yeah, we could make we could make good use of them in regards to like a workforce, etc., etc. Toby,
I think Mo stands for everything I'm against in this topic. It really does. I think I'm no for like
Legalization?
legalizing clones because I think it creates a very would even be controversial, but I think it creates the conversation of whether or not you can actually treat these people as human. And if you're going to look at like logically, I would see that person as that clone as just being a human. But I think the way people perceive the fact that they are a clone, then the day changes their view on it. But at the end of the day, that person's still a human regardless, and there could lead to people then mistreating such clones / humans based off their personal beliefs, which I could see is very problematic because it causes an amount of suffering. Really, like if you decide to enslave like all these clones, that's unnecessary suffering. I see, and I'd just rather avoid the whole like situation in general.
that's fair enough.
I would say legalize cloning. It's a bit reckless, but I'm not sure what cloning would look like in the future. So I'm just gonna say legalize it and hope for the best.
I don't want to live in a world where Mo's in power.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, it's peak for everyone.
So when I say it would be so peak for everyone. So I say it should be illegal. It shouldn't be done because Mo will create a slave race and they will revolt. And the thing is, if they revolt, they're not just coming for Mo. They're coming for all the
I'll
originals.
put them down.
all the originals.
All the originals.
They're coming
Wow,
for-
so
Wait,
it
no,
is
wait,
original versus
When
copy.
we're deep in the clone, in this supposed cheap labor workforce, it's one guy.
It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Cheap labor workforce. Ooh, lovely.
You're stupid.
Lovely.
You mean the slave? You mean the
So
slave? You mean the slaves?
problematic. So
Yes,
problematic.
Tom.
Can we call them up
Yes,
after?
Tom.
Yes, they are slaves.
We mean the slaves.
Yes.
You, Mr. Pro-Black. We mean the slaves.
I am pro-black.
Okay, cool.
But I'm also pro-clones. I'm sorry.
You guys are hypocritical. You'll still be buying from Apple. It's a damn shame. So if a cheap labor workforce are slaves, then what about those people in
I'm talking.
Bangladesh? Bro?
I'm talking.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys are shameful.
But you're creating them for the
Mo,
purpose
you're not
to be
gonna-
slaves.
Yes. Whereas, and I'm trying to free up my man in Bangladesh.
Then what are they going to do for money? Because they still get paid.
They'll have to
Not
get
a
other
lot,
jobs.
No,
they
but
still
it's
get paid.
extortionate rates.
Extortionate rate, but they still get paid. So what?
It's extortion.
What-
Okay,
yeah,
they're still getting paid. Okay, I'll pay my cheap workforce. Sorry, not slaves. My cheap workforce.
Okay, but what about people that?
Almost
What
caught me
about
there.
people that are going to put? What are people that are going to put out jobs?
They're gonna have to get other jobs. The economy changes, and having clones would definitely change the economy. I'm not gonna deny that.
Listen, Taf. All I'm saying is that you are stuck in your cloak at altered carbon. What's it called universe. Mo is a fucking dictator. Listen, if you do not want a world where General Mo is a thing, don't vote for cloning. This is mad. It's madness.
Vote for cloning.
Do not vote for cloning. I refuse.
Oh.
In my head, it's crazy.
Tom, you're no
No,
fun.
hold on. Listen, if not wanting slaves in this world means I'm no fun, fair enough. I'm boring. That's I'm happy being boring. Because Mo is I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna be a dictator one day. He's gonna have his own version of North Korea, and it's gonna be all kinds of mad.
Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode, guys.
Yeah.
Certainly heard some interesting opinions
Yeah.
across the board.
This is fucking ridiculous.
I wonder if any of your opinions have changed. So I feel like we should probably have a poll at the beginning when we first ask the question, as opposed to the end, and see the changes between that. Yeah. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram, SlidersPod, no underscore, and make sure to subscribe and follow on Spotify and Apple, whatever platforms you listen to our podcast on. But yeah.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
Oh yeah. Get the subscribers up.
Share, feel free to share with your friends.
And we now have a Patreon.
No, we don't.
No, what the hell we don't.
We
That's
don't.
just your bank account.
We
Okay,
don't.
I was just testing the waters. I was just testing the waters.
Yet.
We don't have one yet, but support your local podcasters.
Tap
Just
does have
liking
an
our
OnlyFans.
content. liking us on YouTube, giving us a comment here and there.
Yeah.
And eventually, when we do get a Patreon, we're looking to do Sliders Miami. Send the crew to Miami. But yeah, man, this has been Sliders Podcast. I've been your host, Who's Taff, aka the champion.
It's your boy Tom.
Toby the guy senpai.
And Mo.
Sliding out.